Hello students, welcome to my channel Crack Chemistry. Before starting, I request you to subscribe my channel and press the like button. I also request you to press the bell icon for getting updates. Students, today I am going to cover a class 11th topic. The name of the topic is Nature of Matter. This topic is included in class 11 NCERT Chemistry book part 1. The name of the chapter is Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry. This is the first chapter of NCERT Chemistry Part 1. Students, in this video, I have collected all the important information of the topic together and presented before you. So hence, I made the topic very easy for you. So let's see what we are going to discuss today. Today we will discuss about nature of matter, states of matter, characteristics of different states of matter. We will classify matter. We will discuss about mixtures, what are homogeneous mixtures, what are heterogeneous mixtures, what are pure substances. We will discuss about elements. We will discuss about molecule of an element, and we will discuss about molecule of a compound. So first of all, we will discuss about matter. Students, from your previous classes you are studying that what is matter? So matter is anything which has mass and occupies a space. So we can write here anything which has mass and occupies space is called as matter. Now I like to discuss some examples of the matter. So there are enormous examples. Few I am going to mention here, like book is an example of matter. Chair, air we can write, all living beings. So all these are the examples of matter. All living beings. All these are matter because they all occupy space and they have the mass also. Now I'll discuss about the states of matter. Students, on the basis of physical states, there are 3 states of matter on the basis of physical states. So what are these 3 states of matter? I'm going to mention here. So first physical state is the solid. Second one is the liquid state. And third one is the gaseous state. So solid, liquid and gas, these are the 3 common states of matter. In all these 3 states, the arrangement of particles is different. So all these 3 states differ from each other on the basis of arrangement of particles. So what is the arrangement of particles in all the 3 states of matter? I am going to discuss. We can see in this diagram that the arrangement of solid, liquid, gases, arrangement of particles in solid, liquid and gases. So we will discuss one by one all these 3 states. So this is the first state, solid state. From this diagram it is clear to you that particles are very closely packed. Particles are very closely packed in solid state. And now it is also clear from the figure, as particles are very closely packed in solid state, they don't have freedom of movement. So particles can't move. They can only oscillate about their mean position. Now I am going to discuss the second state. The second state of matter is the liquid state. Again it is clear from the diagram that particles are close. But not as close as in case of solid and liquid state. So remember this point. In the case of liquid states, particles are close, but they are not as close as in the solid state. Then, if the particles are closely packed, but they have some freedom of movement, so the particles in liquid state can move around. So that was the discussion about liquid state. Just now we have seen that particles in liquid state, although they are close, but they are not as close as in the case of solid state. They have some freedom of movement. That's why the particles in liquid state can move around. Now I'm coming to the third state of matter, which is the gaseous state. With the help of diagram, it is clear to you that particles are far apart from each other. Particles are far apart. As the particles are far apart, they have the complete freedom of movement. Particles in the gaseous state, they have complete freedom of movement. So students, this was the arrangement of particles in the solid, liquid and gaseous state. Now, I would like to discuss the properties of these solid, liquid and gaseous state one by one. So first I am going to discuss about solid state. Students, in the case of solid state, the particles just now we have seen, they are very closely packed. They don't have any freedom of movement. They can only oscillate about their mean position. So that's why solids have definite volume and definite shape. Solids have definite volume and definite shape. This was the characteristics of solid state. They have definite volume and definite shape. So it is clear to you why they have definite volume and definite shape. They have definite volume and definite shape because of the closely packed arrangement of particles. So I am just going to write here, they have definite volume and definite shape. Now I am coming to the next state of the matter. The next state of the matter is liquid state. Students, we have seen that in the case of liquid state, the particles, although they were close, but they were not as close as in the case of solid state. So because of this, liquids have definite volume. Liquids have definite volume. But indefinite shape. But indefinite shape. And you all know that liquids take the shape of the container. Liquids, they take the shape of the container. They don't have any definite shape. They take the shape of the container. Now, I'm going to discuss about the third state, which was the gaseous state. Just now we have seen that in the case of gaseous state, particles were far apart from each other. They had complete freedom of movement. So that's why gases neither have definite shape nor definite volume. Now one more point I want to discuss here. All these three states of matter, they are interconvertible. Means, so these states can be changed from one state to another. So I'm just writing here, all these states, all the three states are interconvertible. All these three states are interconvertible. They are interconvertible by changing the conditions of temperature and pressure. By changing the conditions of temperature and pressure, these states can be converted into other states. For example, I would like to mention here solid state. When solid state is heated, on heating it converts into liquid state. Similarly, when liquid state is heated, it converts into gaseous state or vapor state. Now I want to discuss about the reverse process. Gases, on cooling. When gases are cool, on gases on cooling, they convert into liquid state. They undergo condensation. And similarly, liquids on cooling, they undergo freezing. They convert into the solid state. So students, I hope all these points are clear to you. Now I want to discuss about the classification of matter. Students, matter can be classified into two categories. They are mixtures and pure substances. And mixtures can again be classified as homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. And pure substances again can be classified as elements and compounds. So, we will discuss this classification in detail. So, let's see. First of all, I want to discuss about mixtures. Students, mixtures mixtures consist of two or more pure substances. Mixture consists of two or more pure substances mixed together in any ratio. So we can write here two or more pure substances. Two or more pure substances. Two or more pure substances mixed in any ratio. One more point I want to mention here. Two or more pure substances which form a mixture, they are called as components of the mixture. Components of mixture. So that was a general discussion about the mixture. Now I would like to discuss about the pure substances. What are pure substances? Students, pure substances are always made up of only one type of particles. They consist of only one type of substance or only one type of particles. We will discuss in detail about what are these particles. So, pure substances consist of only one type of particles. They have the same composition. For example, we will discuss in detail in the next slides. For example, we can say that copper, a sample of pure copper, silver, they all are the examples of pure substances. So, students, I have discussed about mixtures, two or more pure substances mixed together in any ratio. And one more point I have mentioned here, the substances, two or more pure substances which form a mixture, they are called as components of mixture. Then I discussed about pure substances. Pure substances are made up of only one type of particles. What are these particles? These particles may be atoms or molecules. We will discuss in the later stage. Now, I want to discuss about mixture in detail. Students, just now I have discussed about the mixture. Mixture consists of two or more pure substances. Mixed together. In any ratio. So we have seen that mixture consists of two or more pure substances mixed together in any ratio. So if the ratio is not fixed, it means the mixtures have variable composition. Mixtures have variable composition. So I can write here, mixtures have variable composition. This is a very important property of mixture. And one more point I want to mention here. The components of mixture can be separated by physical methods. So components of mixture can be separated by physical methods. Components of mixture can be separated by physical methods. Now, I would like to discuss some example of mixtures. So, there are many examples, many things which we see around us, actually they are mixtures only. For example, I am starting from our home only, I am starting from our kitchen only. Tea, coffee, Salt solution, solution of salt in water. Sugar solution, solution of sugar in water. They all are the examples of mixture. Students, remember one thing. In sugar solution, the components of sugar solution are sugar and water. So what are components? The pure substances which make a mixture are called as component. Similarly, in salt solution, the components are salt and water. And we know that tea is made up of many components. Tea leaves, milk is there, sugar is there, water is there. So they all are the components of the tea. Now I would like to discuss about homogeneous mixture. Students, mixtures are of two types. As I have previously discussed, homogeneous mixtures are those mixtures in which the components are uniformly mixed. Components are thoroughly mixed. They are uniformly mixed. They are uniformly mixed throughout the bulk of the mixture. So, example of homogeneous mixture, there are many examples. And one more point I want to mention here. In the case of homogeneous mixture, components are uniformly mixed throughout the bulk of the mixture. For example, sugar solution, salt solution. So, the components in the case of homogeneous mixture, they are not visible. We cannot see. If we mix sugar in water, we will not able to find out where is sugar. If we mix salt in water, salt solution, we will not be able to see the particles of salt once they are mixed. So now I like to discuss about some examples of homogeneous mixture. Tea is an example of homogeneous mixture. We have taken many more examples like alloy. Alloy is an example of homogeneous mixture. Just now we have discussed about sugar solution. So they all are the examples of homogeneous mixture. And one point I want to mention here, the components of homogeneous mixture can be separated by physical methods. Can be separated by physical methods like distillation. So let me write here, can be separated by physical methods. What are these physical methods? These physical methods can be distillation, they can be filtration, they can be crystallization, etc. Now I want to discuss about the second category of mixture. They are the heterogeneous mixtures. Heterogeneous mixtures are those mixtures in which components are not mixed uniformly throughout the mixture. So what are heterogeneous mixture? In heterogeneous mixtures, we can say that components are not uniformly distributed. Components are not uniformly distributed. Throughout the bulk of the mixture. Throughout the bulk of the mixture, and the components of the mixture are visible. That is the second point. The components of the mixture are visible. Now, I like to discuss some examples of heterogeneous mixture. For example, pulses or grains which we are using in our homes, they are heterogeneous mixture. Along with pulses, we can see dirt and stones in them. So they are the examples of heterogeneous mixture, and the different components are visible. We can identify, we can see with our eyes. Then some more examples are there, like grains I was talking about. Grains also you will find. Along with grains you will find dirt, you will find stones, etc. Then a mixture of salt and sugar. If you mix salt and sugar together, you will be able to see the crystals of sugar and salt separately. So all these are the examples of heterogeneous mixture. Now one point I want to mention here, the components of mixture can be separated by simple physical methods. Components of mixture can be separated by physical methods. What are these physical methods? Like filtration, like distillation, like hand picking. So I'm writing here components can be separated by physical methods. Can be separated by physical methods like hand picking, distillation, filtration, etc. Simple. Hand picking, distillation, filtration, etc. So we have seen that components of a mixture can be separated by simple methods like distillation, hand picking, filtration, etc. So I hope all these points are clear to you. Now I want to discuss one more point here. We have discussed about pure substances. Students, we can never separate the components of pure substances by physical methods. Can't be separated. But in the case of mixtures, we have seen that components of the mixture can be separated by physical methods. So I can write here, in the case of pure substances, components can't be separated. Components can't be separated by physical methods. But in the case of mixtures, components can be separated by physical methods. Can be separated by physical methods. So I hope all these points are clear to you. Now I will like to discuss about pure substances. Students, pure substances are those substances which are made up of, which consists of only one type of particles. Consists of only one type of particles. So what do I mean by only one type of particles? I mean to say here, I'll take few examples. For example, if I'm taking gold. So gold is made up of only gold particles, only gold atoms. If I am taking copper, it means it is made up of only copper atoms, nothing else. If I am talking about glucose, glucose composition is C6H12O6. It is made up of 3 atoms, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 1:2:1. It means the glucose consists of only 3 atoms, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 1:2:1, nothing else apart from this. So what are pure substances? Pure substances consists of only one type of particles. I want to mention few examples of pure substances here. Like few examples I have discussed. Distilled water. Distilled water is an example of pure substances. Distilled water consists of only H2O. Consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Apart from this, distilled water consists nothing else. But if I talk about the tap water apart from water, it consists of some added minerals, salts. So that's why tap water will not be a pure substance, but distilled water will be a pure substance. So I hope these points are clear to you. What is a pure substance? Pure substance consists of only one type of particles, and there are pure substance can exist in 2 ways. Pure substance consists of particles. These particles can exist either as atoms. These particles can exist either as atoms, or these particles can exist in the form of molecule. So we are going to discuss them one by one. Pure substances can be of two categories. There are two types of pure substances. They are elements. So what are elements? Elements are made up of only one type of particles. They consist of same kind of atoms. So we can write here, elements are pure substances. So we are discussing about there are two types of pure substances. One is element. So elements are pure substances and they are made up of same type of atoms. Now I would like to discuss about some examples of elements. Students, pure substances, there are many pure substances like you can see here: hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, copper, sodium, etc. There are enormous pure substances, 118 elements. 118 elements are known presently. So now I want to discuss about these pure substances. These pure substances, they consist of the smallest unit which can exist either as atoms or molecules. So I am discussing about these two substances as an example. I am taking copper as an example and sodium as an example. So copper and sodium, they can exist as a single atom. Copper and sodium can exist as atom. So a sample of copper consists of only copper atom. The smallest unit in case of sample of copper is the atom. Similarly, in the case of sodium, it consists of only sodium atoms. So smallest unit will be the sodium atoms here. Now, I want to discuss about molecule of an element. As I was discussing here, a pure substance consists of only one type of particles. And these particles can exist either as an atom, as in the case of sodium, copper, gold, etc. So in all these examples, the constituent particles, they can exist as a single atom. One example I have discussed about sodium. So sodium atom consists of only, a sample of sodium consists of only sodium atoms, and the sodium atom can exist independently. Similarly copper, similarly silver. In all these substances, the smallest particle is an atom and it can exist as a single atom. But in some cases, like hydrogen, hydrogen cannot exist independently. Hydrogen exists in the form of molecule. Like two hydrogen atoms, they combine together and they form molecule. So H2 is the molecule of an element. So how can we define molecule of an element? We can write here, when two or more similar atoms. Two or more similar atoms combine together in a fixed ratio, we get molecule of an element. So what is a molecule of an element? When two or more similar atoms combine together in a fixed ratio, we get molecule of an element. Now I will like to discuss some examples. Few examples I have discussed just now. Hydrogen atom, you can look at the example, hydrogen as an example. A molecule of hydrogen is made up of two hydrogen atoms. This is one atom of hydrogen and this is another atom of hydrogen. They combine together and they form molecule of hydrogen. So this is the one molecule of hydrogen which is made up of two atoms of hydrogen. Similarly, let's discuss another example. This is one atom of oxygen. This is another atom of oxygen. Both of them combine together and they form one molecule of oxygen. So we can say that a molecule of oxygen is made up of 2 atoms of oxygen. So students, I hope this points is clear. These points are clear to you. A molecule of element consists of 2 or more similar atoms. It consists of 2 or more similar atoms combined together in a fixed ratio. Then a molecule of an element is formed. When 2 or more similar atoms combine together in the same ratio, molecule of an element is formed. Now I want to discuss about molecule of a compound. So molecule of a compound, only difference is that when 2 or more different atoms combine together in a fixed ratio. So when 2 or more different atoms combine together in a fixed ratio, a molecule of a compound is formed. For example, ammonia, this is NH3, CO2, carbon dioxide. These all are the examples of molecule of a compound because they consist of 2 or more atoms combined together. They are chemically combined in a fixed ratio. So we can see here some examples. This is the example of water molecule. We can see here that a molecule of water is made up of 1 atom of oxygen and 2 atoms of 1 atom of oxygen and 2 atoms of hydrogen. So when 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, they combine chemically, we get 1 molecule of water. Similarly, in the case of carbon dioxide, we can see that it consists of 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. So when 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen combine chemically in a fixed ratio, we get a molecule of a compound. Students, so just now we have discussed about molecule of an element. We have discussed about molecule of a compound. Actually, we were discussing about pure substances. We have seen that pure substances can be divided into 2 categories. Just now we have discussed pure substances are elements and compounds. So elements, we have seen many examples. Elements, we have seen that they are made up of only one type of particles, only one type of atoms. Then again we have seen that elements, they can exist as a single atom. They can exist as a single atom like sodium, like copper, etc. Or they can exist in the form of molecule. Molecule of an element we have discussed just now, the O2. So oxygen can never exist as a single atom. Oxygen always exists in the form of a molecule. 2 oxygen atoms, they combine together and they form 1 molecule of oxygen. So, and similarly hydrogen. Hydrogen can never exist as a single atom. 2 hydrogen atoms, they combine together, they form a molecule of an element. So we can see here all these are molecule of element. So for quick revision, I am just writing all these points again. So elements, we have seen this is made up of a single atom, like it can exist as a single atom like sodium, like copper. So, and elements can also exist in the form of the combination of atoms, so which are called as molecule of element. And compound, just now we have seen that compound consists of 2 or more different atoms combined together in a fixed ratio. We get a molecule of a compound. So there are 2 types of molecules, molecule of an element and molecule of a compound. Students, I hope all these points are clear to you. One more point I want to mention here, that component of a pure substances can't be separated by physical methods like filtration, distillation, etc. But the components of a mixture can be separated by physical methods like simple distillation, hand picking, etc. So I'll write the points here. We have discussed about mixtures. So components quickly we will see what were the mixtures. Two or more pure substances mixed together in any ratio, we got the mixture. Components of the mixture can't be separated by the physical methods, and we have seen about the pure substances. Pure substances are made up of only one type of particles. So pure substances, we have seen they were of two types, elements and compounds. And mixtures, we have seen they were of two types, homogeneous mixture, and second category was the heterogeneous mixture. So I hope all these points are clear to you. Students, we have discussed today about the nature of matter, states of matter. We have discussed about characteristics of different states of matter. We did the classification of matter. We discussed about mixtures, what are homogeneous mixtures, what are heterogeneous mixtures. We discussed about pure substances. We discussed about elements. We discussed about molecule of an element, and we discussed about molecule of a compound. Students, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope all these points are clear to you. In case of any doubt, please post your doubts in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and please press the like button and press the bell icon for getting notifications. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.